gents, and welcome back to Unsolicited Westeros. Today, we're just going to continue our conversation about Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 3, The Squire. Martin. Oh, I'm Zack Miller. He's Martin Cooke. And, and Martin, what happened during this episode?
All right, so the first part of this episode was a lot like the first two that we've seen so far. Just a lot of really great one-on-one scenes with Dunk and Egg, really sweet. Actually, the first scene is Egg and a horse, uh, and so he's basically trying to get the horse ready for training. He's trying to get it to run. He's training himself to hand up a lance and a sword if he ever gets Sir Dunk into the lists, and then. And then there's just a lot more great conversations. He tells Dunk that he who doesn't have a hope in hell of actually making it through the lists the first day because that's for highborns and knights of renown, which
Yes.
Sir Duncan at this point certainly is not. And so they end up just becoming fans. So they're just hanging out, in front row seats, loving every minute of it. Whoa, they're getting all excited. And then they see a joust that does not go well. And it's clear from the very beginning that Egg is really does not like one of the two competitors, who is Aerion Targaryen, Bright Flame, as he's known. And Bright Flame uses some pretty underhanded tactics, ends up killing his opponent's horse, and ends up maiming his opponent. And so then this is a real wake up call for Sir Duncan because, he's this somewhat naive, somewhat sweet guy. He thinks, well, the knights don't behave like this. This must have been an accident. And despite Egg telling him that it definitely wasn't, it's not until another knight tells him, actually, yeah, this isn't an accident. The Targaryens are basically a scourge, that he starts to believe it. And then when Aerion later on attacks his mummer girl that he really likes, that puts him over the edge. And he basically throws hands and slugs Aerion Targaryen. He's about to get killed, basically. And then that's when Egg steps up and reveals who he truly is, who is Aegon Targaryen, Aerion's brother, and a prince. So that's basically what happened in this episode.
Yes, well, very well summed up. And yeah, man, I love this show more and more with every episode. Just the very beginning with Egg training Thunder, the horse, is the
Yeah.
horse was just so adorable and so not what we're used to in Westeros. It's and that's also why I love the whole the Hedge Knight series, the book, the novellas, is that we can there's this whole civil war thing that's gone on with the Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, but I love that we can just like condense it down to just a hedge knight and his squire just
Yeah.
trying to like live day by day and have this kind of buddy cop thing.
Yeah, I agree. There's, that moment that at the very beginning with Egg and the horse, and there's a bunch of others throughout this episode and throughout the series so far. This series definitely has the sweetest moments that we've seen in any of the Game of Thrones series so far. And yeah, it's a nice, refreshing change that we haven't really had before. Now, it seems to be setting up for a lot more action.
Yeah,
And obviously, we can
yeah.
talk about what happened in the next week on segment at the end of the show. And there's definitely going to be some pretty exciting action. But I love that we're getting to live in these just kind of sweet, quiet moments for a lot of the show so far, including, the Egg and Dunk relationship and how that's been building and almost really turning into kind of a father son type thing, which is really kind of cute.
Yeah, it's half like father son and half like buddy cop kind
Yeah,
of thing
yeah,
because Because Dunk is so naive in the ways of
Yes.
how knighthood and the highborn live, but Egg is also naive in the way that the lowborn are living. And we can talk about this now because we finally discovered that Egg is indeed a Targaryen prince.
Yeah.
And since you didn't read any of the books, so did you have any hint that he was a Targaryen before this episode?
I did. I kind of knew it already because of I can't remember what season it was in Game of Thrones when Aemon Targaryen
Oh,
up at the Night's Watch is talking. He's starting to lose it, and he's I think he's on near death or whatever, and he just keeps saying egg, egg, and then he realizes that Jon Snow realizes who he's talking about and who he actually is. So I think we already had that hint from that series that he was not who he's claiming to be in the first couple episodes of this show. So I did know. I haven't looked into it closely to find out exactly where he was on the family tree. So that I guess we'll find out. So obviously he's a younger brother of Aerion Targaryen, who also seems to be a younger brother of the heir, who also seems to be missing. At least that's
yeah,
what we're getting so far.
yeah. That's
So
Darren the Dreamer that we saw in the first episode, who was the drunk guy.
right, right. Okay, okay, okay. So he's the older brother. Right. So I haven't looked into that. I'm just letting that part of the show just kind of come to me and learn as I'm watching the show. But I did have the hint of who Egg was from previous shows.
Yeah, so it's gonna make for such an interesting dynamic, and uh, Laughing Storm killed it again, even though he's even in one like one or two scenes.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. We got not one but two songs in this episode. The
Yes,
Laughing Storm one, and then the fun one from Egg in the beginning when he's just sitting in a tree whittling a stick, and he keeps changing the words every time it gets to a swear, which is pretty funny. But I love when they hear Laughing Storm's song in the tent and the big party going on, and Egg's having this sort of trying to do this very serious analysis of this. So there really was this woman of a body
yeah.
tavern song.
Yeah, and how good she was at buggering another guy with her fist. Like,
And then
yeah, that's what
he's all disappointed that, oh, but but they didn't even remember her name.
yeah, that's what I love about Egg is that he's like he knows all the courtly courtesies and stuff like that, but he doesn't know anything about like the filth of flea bottom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Or
they
even
so
basic life, like when he asks Dunk, is it weird that I have black hairs growing out of my stones?
yes, yes, that
And
cracked
Dunk's like,
that.
well, it's weird that you're telling me about it.
That cracked me up. Oh my god. I cannot believe how hilarious this series is. And I feel like I miss some things sometimes because I'm laughing so much. And then
Right.
we hop on right after the episode's over and do this podcast. So I'm sure there's something that we're gonna miss because I was just laughing so much.
Yeah.
But
The other character that we've met now a few times that I wanted to point out because we get a return performance from in this episode is the game master guy.
oh
And
yeah,
that
yeah,
was an interesting,
the
I mean,
to it guy.
first of all, just is a hilarious character, and what a great sort of character trait to set him aside. The way the actor came up with it, just like the hawking up a loogie thing, it's so disgusting, but is so distinctive of that character. So great work either by the
And
director, the writer,
totally
or the actor.
relatable to my past like month and a half.
Right. Yes, I'm sure you can you can relate. But it's also nice that even in a high fantasy world, we've got illegal betting going on
Oh
in
yeah,
sports
yeah,
and betting scandals. I thought pretty funny.
yeah. That shit puts DraftKings to shame.
Yeah.
But, uh, but like we always talk about like how small scale this is and how they do character work so well. But man, the joust scenes were so well done as well.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you pointed out the Aryan Aryan Bright Flame joust was great, and when he uh stuck his lance in the horse's neck. But
Yeah.
the rest of them were also just really well done as well. And and the next couple episodes are really gonna focus on this seven thing that
Yeah,
they
that
kind
we saw in the next week on. Yeah, what the fuck's a trial by seven?
yeah. So yeah, we're gonna see poor poor Dunk try to recruit seven. I mean, try to recruit six other knights
Yeah,
because they have to be knights. They can't just be warriors or hedge wizards or whatever.
yeah,
And they have to fight against another seven knights that represent the Targaryens. So that's gonna be a motherfucker.
yeah. I mean, I think we can predict two that'll join his side.
Yeah.
Probably the younger Fossaway, and then I'm guessing that Laughing Storm is going to join his side too. But that still leaves him four that he's got to find. So that's going to be very interesting to see who he can get on side.
Yeah, and in the next song, we saw that Egg was in his full
Yeah, yeah,
Targaryen regalia, so maybe he'll have some influence, but we don't know.
yeah.
Arian is
He is
obvious.
just a little kid.
Yeah, Arian is obviously like the Viserys of early Game of Thrones fame, where he's just like the douchebag of the
Yeah,
family, or like the Joffrey or what have you, like the just the
yeah.
asshole. But
Well, and I
yeah,
was going
so
to say it's actually nice to have like a proper villain kind of back
mm,
in the Game of Thrones because we didn't have that the first two episodes, and even in House of the Dragon. I mean, I guess Aemon One Eye is kind of a villain, but even then, not really. Like he isn't.
no,
We haven't had straight out and out villains since Game of Thrones, probably um, since Ramsay
Ramsey.
died. And so it's kind of cool to have just like a really out and out villain to cheer against, and that's obviously going to be Aryan
Plus
Bright
his
Flame.
plus his armor and his horse's armor were so villainous, but
Yeah,
also completely badass. Like
yeah,
let's get
totally badass. Yeah, definitely the most elaborate. I think that we've seen in terms of helmet and yeah, armor.
Yeah, the way he was able to close his helmet and be like, "It's time you face the dragon now."
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that was so badass.
yeah, yeah, really good stuff. Um, the only other note I kind of made for myself here is that it's interesting that in this show you can kind of already see that the seeds of Robert's rebellion are being sown. When the Fossaway guy was talking about the Targaryens and talking about what they're doing, and kind of they relied on their dragons, but really they're just this incestuous bunch of it kind of seems to be setting the stage of people turning on the Targaryens, which obviously happens 80 years later or something
Yeah,
like
what did he
in the
say?
world.
Like they the best thing they could do is come on their sister's tits or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. In other words, don't reproduce
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's like, I got that line from somebody else, which I thought was a nice
And
touch.
then he's like, yeah, I went a little too far, or I forgot the exact. He put it more delicately, but
Yeah. But yeah, I did think that's interesting. I love how, just the world building has really been great so far in this series.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving every second of this. And there's not that much more to talk about because they're only about 30 to 35 minutes long. And
Yep. And we're halfway through the series now already because it's only going to be 6 episodes. So
yeah,
this is
we
seems
will we will probably have more to say in the next 3 weeks because there's gonna I've read the books and there's a lot more that actually happens, but still they are condensed episodes. So
yeah.
anyway, yeah. So we'll see you next week. Hopefully. I don't know if Martin's Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl or not
Yeah,
next
they are. Come on.
week.
Yeah, yeah, it might be posted a bit later next week. So I might be celebrating or drowning my sorrows, but definitely celebrating.
Yeah, but I will. Yeah, definitely rooting for the Seahawks, even though uh, I hate them. But I hate the I hate the Patriots even more. But
I'll take it.
all right, so until next week or so, we're not doing an episode on Thursday because we're doing an episode every other Thursday. So I'm Zach Miller with my Targaryen wine cup. That's Martin Cook,
With the
and we'll see you
medieval
next
looking
time
stein.
on Unsolicited Westeros.
Bye, everyone.
Love you, ladies and lads.